Hey, what's up, guys? So we'll be doing the Commando at level 30 on Sewers on Hell on Earth solo play. Right, so honestly, this was the first class I picked during the playtest. I did feel initially that it was kind of weak, lacking like damage and stuff. And like of all the weapons that you have to pick, like the only weapon that really clicked with me was the Scar. And of course, that being said, like early game when you don't have many resources, you don't have much mods on you, you'll find that you're kind of strapped for resources. And without upgrades, some of these weapons can be pretty bad to use. So in any case, I've after like some playtime and trying out different weapons, I have gone and like modded more stuff, tagged on more mods, and the Commando has one of the pretty nice skills that gives you like your 30% dodge reduction from the trader. So that does kind of like benefit like your ability to get your weapons, better weapons earlier, or have like multiple weapons on hand at the start of the round. That being said, again, I haven't really tried that out that much other than the Scar. Stormguard is just here. This is just here for like the filler, just to provide me with a little bit better killing capacity at the start of the round. Aside from that, I'll be trying to play the best as I can, trying to clear this in one round and do as much as possible. So this will be the loadout. As always, use your operational budget to the maximum capacity, and multi-tool for the start for the turrets and zip lines, or the single zip line in sewers. Right, so let's get started. So as always, killing floor, make sure land your headshots, move well, make sure you have your escape routes planned accordingly. Right, good, I'm in a good position right now. So pardon me if I'm like not saying things clearly because I'm not very good at playing and talking at the same time, but I'll try my best. And if you find myself like muttering or saying like unclear things, I apologize for that in advance. Whoever's got my back covered, it's nice. Okay, so for the commandos, but this gadget, right, it's kind of like a nice utility, and if you play your cards right, like you can use it like off cooldown whenever you want, because it's going to come back as long as you're landing your headshots. And of course, like your skills, they come back for free, right? You should use them whenever they're off cooldown because they're free resources. Right, so I'm going to pop mine about now actually. I reload in. I get him headshots back. Everything's dead. Fine. So the nice thing about the 200% Z time is that during Z time, it's like you're king. Like you're capable of like, clearing everything and getting your abilities back very fast. Okay, a little bit tight here. Of this barrel. Some flag off me. Stormguard, not my favorite weapon, but I'm forced to make it work. So as you can see, I popped my Strange. I have that one skill that gives me a little bit bonus damage. Not my favorite either. Okay, put myself in a bad spot. Get some grenades to get myself up. Okay, I have not popped my ability that puts me at 1 health yet, so it's fine. Did use a few more resources than I would have liked to, but it's still okay so far. Get that guy off.
Oh, that's a lot.
Honestly speaking, at this point in time, I probably should have just upgraded the secondary, because the secondary is strong enough, even on hell enough, to one-shot like hits with it. And then you have your, what do you call it? The other weapon was the primary. It's kind of okay, but I do prefer like slow firing precision weapons over like automatic weapons, because if you use it unmodded, it's very obvious. It's quite horrible to use. Alright, so in any case, right, having the 30% off trader, this is very nice. It allows me to go directly for my max out Scar. I think it does a hefty amount of damage with a drum magazine also, so 45 damage. I do have Stumblesome on the receiver. That gives me all the stumble that I'm going to need. Obviously, you're going to go for your armor resupply exchanges as well. And do I need ammo? Actually, I think I'm just going to go straight for my multi-tools and the rest into the meager amount of ammo I have. I think 45 rounds is enough to last you for... Not 45 rounds, sorry. 345 rounds all is enough for second wave. Right, in the meantime, I'll just be using my multi-tool to start prepping for the rest of the wave. Things like getting this turret up. And this door open, and the armor crate inside open as well. And don't forget your precious biosteel. Hard to come by these days. So enemies can break that wall there. Just take note, make a mental note of that in case it happens. And otherwise, you're back to the same spot. Turrets, as always, off cooldown. Don't need to use them yet. I can't use them yet, but if you need to reset them, once you have activated them once, you can just go up close to them and hold E to reactivate them after the cooldown is done. Alright, so new information. Second wave, traders on the other side now. I'm going to just hold out here. It's fairly well open enough that I can see everything and shoot them before they get to me. There's Siren coming. One shot, make sure to have your backs covered. That's great. Okay, straight away pop this, get my reload. Good, set time. Did. Excellent. The flash pound. Okay, escape route as always. Still do have like 58 enemies left. Pop that. I'm gonna keep running. Much shit coming away. Grenade sail on my feet just to clear the escape path. Time to save my ammo, get my headshots in. Where the fuck do you come from? My gadget should be back soon. Pop this to save ammo. Huh, that's interesting. I didn't know they could do that. My biosteel along the way. Probably should heal up maybe? Or not, I don't need it just yet. Close this door, just piss them off a little. Okay, grenades are kind of like free with the Commando's abilities. Okay, I got to heal up here. Don't want to waste my last chance ability just yet. I am running a little low on ammo, but let's try to make that. Love Huss. Trying to get them in the... Okay, 10 enemies left, no risk of more enemies spawning. I'm just going to finish them off here. If I can. That's the important guys down. That's right above me. Right, there we go, second wave. Honestly, this is probably easier than Engineer because of how good the Commando's gadget ability is to get your, what do you call it? Your, what do you call that thing? Oh, the gadget energy back. Right, so I don't have money for now, but at least I'm able to fully stocked up on my ammo. Probably want to so I do have a little bit more defenses. Go to save on armor first. Do I want a secondary meteor? Maybe I should probably go for the ammo, just in case I do need this. Right, so I'm gonna get this, but I'm going to be saving enough dosh to make sure I can get my nice bridge. Yeah, upgrade that. That costs about 4.8. I should be able to afford it at the end of round 4, or wave 4. In the meantime, I'll probably try to land my shots a little bit more precisely. Maybe go single fire mode instead, Scar. Because the recoil with the receiver is a little bit heavier than what it is. Make sure you clear out your bloat eggs, those are annoying. No door locks this time round. I kind of wasted too many doors, but whatever. Alright, let's skip. Again, find out where the next shredder is. Right here, excellent. Let's just get kills in early while we can. Okay, skill up. Okay, full auto for the flash plow. Oh, now let's go. Full auto for this guy as well.
Did you, eh?
Getting a little bit hectic. I'm gonna back up for a little bit. Oscar is coming. Got hit by Husk by the side. I'm gonna back up for now. Some chip damage into the Husk and make a run for it. Alright, so they're always gonna spawn from here when you make a run like that. So just be prepared. You need to run for it. Excellent Z time. Damage in.
Took him down to his right size. One crack. Keep going.
Behind me. Front looks clear. Look in front. Oops. Not intentional. Bash this guy, interrupt her. Okay, I'm gonna use my Shringe for damage. One down, flash bounce. Flash bounce. I have 27 enemies left. Bad timing to get stuck in. Thank you for getting stuck. Ooh! Close. Sure, exit is always clear first. Just run here. Ow, ow. Ouch. Okay, get my cooldown back. There we go. Get away from me. That dump's almost up. Let's get a trash mob. Only 4 enemies left. What are they doing? There we go. Okay, use both Shringes, but at least I make good use of my ammo. I'm gonna fully max this out. And let's just get everything back. Okay, so I don't need to rush for my Night Switch just yet. I should have probably dropped the ammo. I'm gonna use it. And then let's buy up the remaining multi-tools, and I'm probably gonna use the fence this round, especially if I need to deal with the heavier enemies. Dealing with them takes too much resources. But otherwise, yeah, the Commando is a fairly flexible class. You're able to speedrun this map without much utility of the rest of the things. You don't need to rely on like the map environmentals. You can just like DPS all of them down, and with the cooldown on the Z time and the gadgets, you know, it's kind of self-sufficient on its own. Right, as long as you land your shots well. And of course, don't panic. Make sure you have a escape button for everything. Like if you get stuck in the corner, I have my grenades down my feet, or I can just pop my gadget or get Z time back as soon as you can. Alright, so without further ado, let's go. 2 most dangerous waves before the boss, the ones I'm usually most afraid about, and the ones that usually get me killed. But yeah, once you get past this boss wave, generally not a threat. Save as almost always, just use the secondary while you can. You can always bash them. Husk on the... Oh, there we go, there's a Husk.
bigger, and I'm
That
better.
flash pound, there it is. Get my headshots for the ability cooldown resets. Run, dodge this.
Come here. Try it on.
Oh, I don't think I need the zipline. Try this out. Always make sure your backs are clear. Put straight down. Ah, fuck cross. Okay, 53 more minutes we go. I have not cleared out the back wave. I am a little bit tight on ammo. So I'm probably going to use this. Clear the trash enemies. This is going to be for the flash pound. Thank you. 5.
Enemy strength 50%.
The time's up again. That's why it's so amazing, like with the amount of Z time you have. And my gadgets back as well. Like you're able to just slowly get your precision shots in, deal with all the important targets. It's annoying cars at the back. Crawler. Okay, more heavies are coming. Gonna open this armor locker while I have time.
Who wants armor? Oh, how I love it.
Get out here. Yeah, flashbound right there. I'm gonna stay here. Okay, got 24 enemies left. How's my ammo? Ammo check. 200 rounds should be fine. Gonna land my headshots. So stumblesome on the, the Commando weapons is what allows you to deal with your heavy Zs reliably because he knocks them back. I don't really think you need like more than 1 or 2 or any like special skills. Just like keep like one single stumblesome like mod is more than enough on the tier 3. Do need to watch my ammo. I probably need to rely on my gadgets and Z time again. How's that? Use my secondary while I'm fighting. Right, there we go. It's up.
Allow me.
Let's see shit. Stop blowing up my face. Make sure your close is clear just in case. Dodge that one.
Well, if that ain't a lesson in fire safety.
Want to get that out of the way. Don't want to get screamed at straight out of the execution. And it's nice.
That last one?
Just enough ammo. Everything. Okay, clean. And unsurprisingly, I got the shitty modifier. Okay, so I am deliberately avoiding the Vulcan. I am purposely subjecting myself to lots of torture to just demonstrate what can be done with like the Commando classes on its own weapons. So I'm basically going to be forced to use the Knight's Bridge. I do not have a good option for the Queen Crawler if she shows up because both of my weapons are force. Unfortunate, but I did not spec out for that, so it doesn't matter. We'll just try to make do with what we have. Flash Pounds, same thing as how we deal with them earlier. I personally think I prefer dealing with those over the Skrigs. The Skrigs are way more annoying because of the chain. Like Flash Pounds, like you can stun them. You can bring them down fairly easily with like proper headshots compared to the Skrigs. Skrigs have armor plating over their heads. Flash Pounds, I think maybe one. Yeah, actually I'm not too sure. I'm just pulling that on my ass. Okay, but I do find that generally I think they're easier to deal with than Skrigs. Alright, so let's not keep ourselves waiting. Let's just go on with this. 105 enemies and now I have 2 weapons. Let's put this to the test. I've not actually played with this before. Oh, 3 burst round.
Headshots for days.
It's actually pretty strong. How's the reload time? Oh, decent. Not bad.
Oh, Mr. High Heavy here.
First splash round is up. Right there. Oh, that's crazy, the stumble. Let's get my abilities up.
Make some mischief.
One thing of which probably use my Scar is slightly lower damage potential.
Reloading. Won't take more than a second.
I'm gonna run out of here first. Take things a bit slowly. Right, so the nice thing about the flash bombs is that they do help you to clear out the enemies. You can see the enemy counters dropping. And because as they charge, as they enrage and they charge through, they just murder everything along the way. Okay, gonna use my ability here, keep your backs clear.
Nice. That's a corner of us.
That flash bomb, or is that a script? I think it's a flash bomb. Oh, where did you come from? Hello. God bless that thing. There we go. 69 minutes left, one more flash bomb. Wait for my ability again. The nice thing about Pounded is that it's on high cooldown rate, so with all the headshots you're landing, it's basically virtually almost perpetual uptime on your abilities.
That flex sounds
Having the Amphiber and stuff also helps immensely. Leave ammo on this, bash this guy, headshot this guy. Get out the bloat. 2 headshots needed to get out the other bloat as well. I still have zap time and there's nothing else to kill right now. Gonna be a fresh spawn of enemies to make up for the capacity loss. Ouch, first hit of the round. It's fine. I am running low on Scar. I'm gonna switch over to the next bridge.
Feeling a bit, tatty round the edges, I am.
There you go.
45 enemies left. There's gonna be plenty of flash bombs, I believe. Okay, I'm just gonna clear these 2 guys. I'm gonna maybe push back in. I don't want to go to my escape route because they're gonna spawn from there. So deliberately push yourself back to a more favorable location. And the zipline's cooldown is also almost off, so I can take it back if I can take the zipline again if I need to run. That's fine. Dodge that. Stumble up. Okay, gonna get some heals in. Gonna take the zipline. And I have horrible recoil control. One flash round down. Sure, once again, coast is clear. Okay, there's one more flash round down. Where you come from? Yeah, I may run out of ammo in this round. Oh, I disallowed. I got it. Yeah, it's fine. Fresh wave of Gauss fast coming out of nowhere. I do think the maximum number of spawns on the Pounded is hard capped. Like maybe like it spawn like 4 flash pounds and only like a handful of other trash mobs. It's definitely not the full number. I can't confirm that. That's why like even though it's like it's like still 20 plus enemies, they're still spawning a fresh wave. But either they're teleporting or I'm not sure. I can neither confirm nor deny. I do need to watch my ammo count, it's running a little low, but I think we should be good. Gotta make sure I land my shots, land my headshots, and of course they gave me the really fucked up thing. Okay, this is why sliding is so strong in this game. I'm just gonna use my heals, we can need that right now. It's my grenades, how could I forget? Almost forgot about those. I do think that's the rest of the enemies left on the round in front of me right now. Bust them all down. Alright, that's fine. And that's it. That will be 2 waves. That's 1 wave down. So if you're using like weapons like the Ifrit, it will be extra strong here. Vulcan, definitely no-brainer there. But yeah, you can make do just with this. Okay, so I have extra ammo back. I'm just gonna drop this now. And since we have extra utilities and no more ammo, I might as well go for syringes just in case. Right, for the long run. So, and the rest of the money, as always, for resupplies. Make sure you're fully kitted out. Going to sure my turrets that I set are prepped, and don't forget the position of your armor crates as always. And let's just pray I don't get the really fucking annoying crane crawler. Right, here goes. Of course, fuck me. Right, she's resistant to force damage, which is going to be a pain for my ammo, but let's see whether I can try to make my gadget do some work for me, as well as the turrets around the map. First things first, let's just pop this from the get-go. Dodge that, don't want to take unnecessary chip damage. Again, always just keep a ping on her so that I know where she is. So I'm gonna leave my Knight's Bridge for the second part of the wave, because that's usually the second phase, because usually the more dangerous part. She does like she moves faster, she does way more damage, and you want to kill her faster in that phase. So I'll just use the weaker scar for now. Should have dodged the attacks. Ouch, that was not intended. Neither was that intended as well. Armor is fine. Oh, she moves so fast. Do need to clear this out because I'll be running through them later. His Z time's almost coming up as well. Don't know when she spawns the crawlers though. Maybe only from the eggs. The egg sacs, hard to say. Again. Need to clear that out for later as well. Okay, almost down to the second phase, which is not too bad, even considering that she has resistances. Should not have taken that hit, but that's fine. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring her down to the second phase. I'll pop my Shinge before that, and I'm gonna start to get in some burst damage or in Z time. We're almost there. Get this out, get this out, get this out. There's a good spot, I think probably somewhere around here. I'm gonna pop the first syringe. Swap to this, and of course you just have to get delayed there. Can't even tell I'm hitting her, god damn it. Oh no, I'm hitting the... That was terrible timing actually. Of course, okay, now she's teleporting. Do not stand and fight when this happens. So if she likes to spawn around you, just make sure to dodge laterally when she does that. Good line, she does that. Keep pings on her so you know where she's showing up. Gonna show up here, just dodge there. Or something like that. Okay, I took a hit that I didn't have to, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna expand the rest of my scar.
This way, follow the pit.
And probably just kite around the Door frames, that's easier to fight in if she didn't phase through the fucking door frame like that. Just play around these two things here. Oh, that was pain. Okay. My Stringer's back. Let's teleport. Dodge that. Should have dodged. Then she's gonna come here. Dodge this, go down. Run away from it. Last one. She's gonna come up here. Dodge laterally. There it is. Should have cleared out the trash when you get a chance. Otherwise, it's fairly straightforward. Zetam's coming back soon. Don't think I'll get it back now. Oh, she's teleporting, never mind. I'm just gonna run. Come out wrong. No? She's not gonna come out? No, she's not. Oh, fuck me. Okay, here we go. Damage window phase. I think Stumble works on the boss, but I'm not sure. So if I didn't screw up my Z time earlier, I would have just killed her outright. That's fine. I just kill her here. And there we go, that's the Commando. With both of your tier 3 and tier 4 ballistic force weapons, even against the boss that is supposedly resistant to it. Honestly, fairly straightforward run, and what makes Commando so strong is the synergy between his gadget and Z time. Like, just landing your headshots well puts you in a very good position to win the match, regardless of which map you're playing in. So whether is it a close range terrain or open ground terrain. Now if you're playing on 6-player Hell on Earth, I think it's a little bit of a different story, because you can be a little bit more vulnerable and bosses are way more potent, on top of dealing with like the server latencies and whatnot. But well, it's a 6-player game. It's meant to be a lot harder, and you're supposed to be able to rely on your teammates for support as well. Alright, so I'm going to show the skills and the weapon builds really briefly, but honestly I think there's not too much variation or things to talk about for Commando. So let's start with the skills early. So basically at the start, you choose between armor and ammo. Ammo on multiplayer, yeah, there's a case for it, but you can never go wrong with more armor, so that's the reason why I'm going with this. For level 8, this honestly isn't that great, because the one that increases is the chance, but your 175 force damage is fixed, and you have to consider, right, you know, like each of your bullets with your max out weapons with mods on it is doing that same amount of damage or almost close to it. It's not worth it to do one bullet's worth of damage in your AoE, right? Offset and preferred customer, I think between these two, these are the two things that you might want to consider. If you find that you're getting your max out weapons earlier, you probably want to go for offset just for the additional stumble and more damage. Otherwise, preferred customer is always going to be a strong pick just to enable getting your weapons earlier. And in my scenario, if I didn't have preferred customer, I would not have been able to afford my Scar and Knightsbridge, which are basically fully maximized on mods. So like, and mind you, this is still a Hell on Earth game. So Commando is probably one of those classes where, like, to enable your weapons to work that out, you do need a heavy investment of resources into all of them, and that's how you make the most use out of this. Because if you get your preferred weapons earlier, if you get your weapons, if you have enough dodge by like the boss wave to get all the weapons, and you have like a surplus of 5,000, this is useless unless you want to donate it to the rest of your team. So it's up to you to decide where's the trade-off going to be. Right? But in solo play, as I demonstrated, you do need this just to get your Scar and Knightsbridge. Right? So there's been a debate on this, like whether or not that yet it's a skill issue kind of skill, and I would argue that, you know, it's always nice to have that one safety net, that safety chance to have. So 7-minute cooldown, it sounds long on paper, like considering matches are like 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes on average-ish. But consider that you're getting cooldowns every 5 seconds when you kill an enemy, and if you're playing solo, that's like, what? if you kill 60 enemies, and let's say like, which is about 3/4 of the waves from 3 to 5 in, let's say, a 2 minutes or so, 60 enemies is going to shave off that, 5 minutes off that 7-minute cooldown, and the remaining 2 minutes is basically your time spent kiting, and basically that's like a free revive in every wave, or even less than that, depending on how much kiting you're doing. So I do think there's quite a huge amount of value here, especially if you're prone to making lots of mistakes. I don't think I triggered this at all during the entire playthrough I just demonstrated. So there is also a case of like, having better strangers on hand. But personally, I do think that, having this safety net is always nice to have. You don't necessarily need the strangers, or correction, like extra strangers may not necessarily save you, especially when you get caught in this kind of oh shit moments. So when you synergize this with like what I'm using on the grenades with no self damage, and if I basically find myself stuck, right, I just throw a grenade at my feet, and usually that provides enough getaway room for me to extricate myself. Right. For level 20, this is pretty much king. Like, unless you're doing some meme bullshit with like 2 Vulcans or like Vulcan G33, right, you can run this for fun. But I do think like having at least 1 Commando, even in multiplayer, using this, it's going to be immensely helpful, because set time just buffs everything. It gives you your proficiency bonuses from all classes, that they all benefit from this, and this is always going to be very nice to have. Lastly, for level 26, this not great. Like, there's rarely a case where you'll be aiming for anything other than the head. I'm not very sure whether armor counts for like the things like the scraped mask and the little bits of things on the flashbound, and whether or not like this can proc off your Vulcans or not. But considering this and comparing it to the other 2 classes, which is the other 2 skills, sorry, which is Blaze and Rail Rager, there is a case of like using Blaze, especially with the Commando weapons, because having that much more damage probably does put you above the threshold. And then there's a Rail Rager, which basically mandates that you use a Strange. So personally, between the 2, if I'm running like a Scar and a Nice Bridge, I would rather use Blaze, because you're going to be full autoing all the way. Like after like first 5 rounds of your magazine, on average, you're going to be doing this. You're going to be enjoying the privileges of this max weapon damage. But just do note, again, subject to what weapons you're using. If you're using the Vulcan, Ifrit, etc., you don't benefit from this. Right. So again, case by case. Right. So honestly, when I first started using this, I was kind of annoyed because of that hard effect that it has on your UI. Little things that are vibrating by the side. It gets kind of distracting and kind of annoying. But after getting some used to it, it does like kind of benefit you. And extra move speed, extra like weapon damage is always nice. And 20 seconds, don't overlook it. It is plenty of time. It can do a lot in that time window. So yeah, right. Now as for grenades, as mentioned earlier, and using the 100% impact grenade damage, you can probably go for knockdown. You can probably go for explosion radius. It's already kind of up to you. Level 16, force damage, kind of and then there's assets, kind of. So again, depending on like how and what you're using it for. Like in my case, I'm using my grenades as oh shit button. I don't like to use them offensively, or like as like a crowd clearing weapon, because they are expensive. They cost $200 dodge for each one of them. So I prefer to use it as an oh shit button, and in this case I think that acid damage benefits me less than if I were to use this with force damage, which can also stumble them. Right, so I'm going with this instead, but as you can see, it's very low on my priority to upgrade them, because the amount of damage dealt is marginal at best. And the last one, Scavenger, you can't go wrong with this. It's pretty good. Like I made a mistake on my engineer video the other day, and I said that you can't get grenades back, and apparently you can by like picking up the little thing that they have from the bouncing Betty, like it leaves the residue behind. But I think the medic also enjoys on that as well, but objectively those are inferior, because those require you to actually run up to where the grenade exploded and pick it up, which high chance you won't have that kind of opportunity. Commando, on the other hand, benefits from this, and this is basically free, because you're always going to be killing something. You're always going to be landing your headshots for all your other skills, and free grenades it's always nice to have. Yeah, so, and one thing I didn't demonstrate so well in the last playthrough is that I didn't use my grenades often enough. That's kind of on me. So, but yeah, definitely a good pickup you have, and max it out if you want. Z time gain when destroying enemy limbs and armor, again, like conditional, but I do think you get plenty enough just from doing this, so you don't really need this, but I guess you can make it work if you wanted to. This one, I would say, arguably kind of bad, because if I'm not mistaken, at max out it gives like additional 600 per wave. And when you kill like what, for each enemy, I'm guessing it's like you gotta kill 20 enemies based on the numbers. So 20 enemies with, let's say, $600 per wave is, if you use 3 grenades, that's a $600 to make up. You need to kill an average of 7 enemies per grenade, and the number of times that's going to happen is pretty low. So like between the 3 of them versus getting me like 3 grenades, right? Imagine spending 3 grenades to get less, or maybe less than 600 for each wave. It's not worth it. You rather just go for this where you can get 3 grenades to throw out as and when as you want. And when you have things like preferred customer, the utility of this is just rendered totally useless at this point. So I would feel that between the two, you go for this too, don't go for this. It's kind of bad. Now as for gadgets, right, if you notice like the ways of using my gadget, it's going to come back for free almost all the way thanks to the level 24 skill. So like between the two, honestly, I'm not going to cover this for later, but this is definitely the clear 100% pick rate here. Right, and then for the rest, I just prefer to apply like affliction statuses like panic and enfeeble. Some people go for things like maybe instead of enfeeble, they go for like more initial impact damage and stuff, but I do feel like based on how the Commando works, he has enough like single target damage or like crowd control clear. What he lacks is proccing affliction status reliably, which is some things like the your firebug and your medic can do very well. The Commando can't do as well, so that's where you want your gadget to make up for those shortfalls. Right, so panic 60% longer, extremely good. Just makes them stay in place. It gives you time to kite and turn around, gives you time to shoot them in the face. I used to take this, but that being said, because of how fast your drone can expire, it's not that great. Like, you can probably deliberately micromanage, like purposely not using it by not facing enemies, but when you turn around and face them, it's going to automatically fire into them and expire the drone. So not that great as a general whole. And the magnitude of reduction isn't that great, I feel. So not my best pick. I do think Panic has the best utility in this chain here. Right. For Asset Cloud, so some people take this and it synergizes well with the level 30, where this increases for each second they're active. I personally think you can kind of go for both. It doesn't really matter in this case. Since I'm not taking this, I don't really utilize this well. So having this just gives me a little bit more choke point clearing in wider corridors, but yeah, it's kind of a whatever. It doesn't really matter here. So as mentioned earlier, I go for Enfeeble. Initial impact damage. If you don't need your Enfeeble, you go for this. That's also fine. Also, I would say that this is probably the worst ones. Now, the only way I kind of see this working out is if the magnitude was higher. I think at max it's like 5 health per second, and if it also heals your teammates, arguably good. But I have not been able to test that yet. For now, it's just that using this is kind of counterintuitive. It's just like having grenades, the effect, right? It's like if you throw, or if this thing shoots far away from you, you won't be able to run over to the asset cloud. So you can't really make good use of this skill. So I wouldn't take this personally. Right, and then last one, level 30. As mentioned, if you have this, go for this. Otherwise, it's kind of like whatever. Like, this has the same problem as here. It's a nice oh shit moment, but also like, maybe not so nice to use. At max out, I think it's like what, below 30 health. But still, hit or miss, because on 6-player Hell on Earth, 30 health threshold is still one shot from a flash pound or a boss, especially if you have no armor on you. Yeah. Honestly, just pick whatever you want. I think the level 30 skill is the least important. The game changes is really level 24. Right, so that will be the skills out of the way. Now for Armory, I haven't really played around with this. I have a custom loadout. I don't know why there's nothing on it. Probably just creating it for fun. Alright, for the Storm Guard, honestly just pick anything just to fill up your operational budget. What did I have on this? I think this was like a relic from another weapon. I just replace it here. So some of the weapons, they do share common mods that you can share across them, but for the most part, I would say that 70 to 80% of them are exclusive mods within the own weapon class itself. So yeah, and honestly, yeah, just to fill up slots here. And the reason why I choose these mods is just all for the accuracy and recoil, because I think that's what the Storm Guard suffers from the most. Right. So the base damage on the Wraith and the Storm Guard actually pretty low, 70-70. Really up to you. I just picked this for early game. It doesn't really matter. Now the Scar is the one that shines because on the base damage on its own, it actually has the highest damage per bullet of all the assault rifles in the Commando class. So for mods, I basically went for, you can probably read it from here, it's much easier. Set-time reload, 3 ball splashes on the magazine sight and the grip. Stumblesome on the receiver, as I mentioned earlier on in the round. And the suppressor is just whatever floats your boat. I do think Blood Transfusion is probably one of the useful things on Commando to have, because it's the only class where like you can hit the 1 HP threshold and still survive with that skill, and so it does give you that little bit of bonus healing. But otherwise you can put in things like daily resupply if you want to, or less frequent reloads. Honestly, the bonuses in this game, you don't strictly need to min-max around them because they're just marginal at best. There's like no one big bonus that's like a massive game changer, I feel, about it. It's not a big deal. Maybe except for Stumblesome for Commando, I think that's one big one that you want to have. So that's the way that you deal with your heavy Zs like your Scrakes and Flashpounds, and that's how you keep them at bay. And for the Knight's Bridge, honestly, that was like the very first time I used that weapon that round, and after using it properly with all the weapon mods on it, it's not as bad as I thought it would. So if you compare this to the base Knight's Bridge, right? 80 primary damage is honestly pathetic, even with the additional fire rate. With the recoil and the accuracy, it was so bad compared to the Scar. But once you mod it and you kit it out, it becomes a lot more tolerable to use. So in this case here, I went with 2 deadly resupplies, 3 boss bashers, and 1 Stumblesome as always, and reactive alloy rounds for the force damage and the basically armor penetration. I think within the options you have your electric damage, possibly a contender, especially if you're dealing with the other bosses like the what do you call that? The Impaler or the Chimera. Chimera is, I'm not wrong, she's resistant to force. Oh no, sorry, I thought the Creamcaller. Creamcaller is resistant to force. So like if you want to fight the Impalers, maybe this will work out well, but as shown, I don't think you suffer from damage when you have it fully kitted out. Right, so 130 damage per shot with a very high fire rate, and it's doing plenty of work. You can pretty much burst down a boss if you play your cards right. Alright, so the only time you probably run out of ammo is if you're running on a 6-player hell enough. That being said, if you have to keep kiting, you have to keep relying on keeping your enemies at bay, and if you need to make emergency resupplies at the trader, that's where you want to run for. But otherwise, I think for the Commando, that's probably the only shortfall it has once it's at level 30. Alright, so, and that will be in Commando gameplay and the builds. Any questions, any comments, feel free to leave it below, and otherwise I think that will be all. Alright, this is Insom signing off.